More victims have been added to Diddy's federal case, and it has been alleged that he sexually abused child stars like Aaron Carter and Justin Bieber when they were just 12 years old. Aaron Carter's mother is attempting to have his case reopened after new evidence was found that shows that Aaron Carter's death was more than just a suicide. If he drowned in a bathtub, why was there no water in his lungs? And why was he telling everyone that he...
Remarkable decision. She has decided she wants the world to see the death scene, where the bathroom where Aaron was found dead. And the reason for this is she is calling out the police and feels like they did not do a proper investigation here, because she is certainly insinuating that there may have been foul play involved in Aaron Carter's death.
Oh, well, the first day, I got a call. The first thing, I got a call from my daughter, Angel, and she said that Aaron was found in the pool. So then I found out later that he was found in a tub, and it just, everything, the stories just kind of kept changing.
We dig deeper, we discover that Aaron's death has been enmeshed in controversy for a long time. 2 days prior to his purported death from Xanax overdose, Aaron had posted a video in which he claimed that his life was in jeopardy and that there were individuals pursuing him. Do we really think that this is all a coincidence, given that Aaron stated that he was being targeted and that he passed away the day after Diddy's birth?
Videos that have recently resurfaced because of all these speculations and allegations about Diddy possibly being involved with Aaron Carter's passing. And one of the craziest, most damning pieces of evidence, in my opinion, is the fact that Aaron released this TikTok video literally 2 days prior to him disappearing and being gone unalived forever.
Silence breaker for my brother, who is a rapist, and now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me, and Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million. They owe me money, and they're trying to me off, and I'm begging you and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my house. They're all involved in this, and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted to hang myself. So please trust what I'm saying.
Aaron Carter was despicable, though, because he begged for help to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not entitled. And no one said anything.
Later located in his car prior to his death, even though it was not close to his corpse when it was recovered. Aaron had already begun naming several executives and was threatening to reveal the persons pursuing him. Why would Aaron leave his phone in the car? Was his death actually caused by an overdose? Or was it staged to appear that way?
The phone was actually found in his car in the driveway. Aaron was known to always have his phone on him. He was always on his phone. He was never not on it. He was always posting online, listening to music, talking to people, texting. There was never a moment that Aaron was seen without his phone. So when his phone was found in his car in the driveway, far away from his body where he was found, and he was going to take a bath too. If I'm going to take a bath, I always bring my phone in there because I'm probably watching videos or listening to music or something. Just very strange that a guy who always had his phone on him did not have his phone on him or even near him when he passed. Now, Aaron was not examined by the same medical examiner, Ed Winter, that all the other celebrities were. Ed actually passed away, like I mentioned, but it was the same coroner's office, the same medical examiner's office performing the autopsy. So the likelihood that if Diddy controlled somebody in that area, or if Diddy has any sort of hold on the medical examiner's office or the police of LA County, then it's very likely that that reach did not just extend to one person. It is likely over the entire department, the entire system that they have in place out there.
Following developing news tonight in Lancaster, where pop star Aaron Carter has died at the age of 34.
Yeah, the troubled performer grew up in the limelight, but he was in and out of rehab several times in his short life. Chris Wolf is live for us in Lancaster. He's got more on this. Chris?
Yeah, Rick, MB, the street is now cleared. People have been moving in and out of that home behind me all day. And tonight we heard from some of those closest to Aaron Carter, and they all say the same thing. They all share stories of a very kind, loving, caring, humble, yet troubled young man. It's the tragic death of a young performer, and now family, friends, and fans around the world.
Looking more closely at the people Aaron was avoiding and being afraid of, one name keeps coming up: Sean Puffy Combs. Before he was 10 years old, Aaron was well known and had sold over 1 million albums. However, things only started to go wrong for him after he met Diddy. Unfortunately, many child stars have experienced this fate. Usher and Justin are just a few examples.
Yes, Aaron would be thrust into the entertainment industry and would be mingling with the most VIP elite of our society, and this is when, at the age of 9, he starts to mingle with people like Diddy. By the age of 15, Aaron had released 4 studio albums, all of which were gold, platinum performing records. On his second album, he had actually signed to a new record label, Jive Records. And Jive Records is a subsidiary company underneath the parent company, Sony Records. And Sony Records is also the parent company of Bad Boy Entertainment. And Bad Boy Entertainment signed over to them in 2002, I believe. The overlap there would definitely place Aaron Carter, who was the most massive child superstar on the planet, definitely in the same circles as people like Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love Combs. And Sean Combs is one of the most notorious and influential people in the music industry.
Fortunately, Aaron was a victim of sexual abuse and couch culture, which are common in Hollywood. His parents were aware of what he was going through, and as it would turn out, his own family was after him. Aaron even disclosed that his sister Leslie had sexually abused him when he was a young child. Aaron was abused first by his family and then by the industry, and no one close to him cared.
The toughest thing to deal with.
Aaron Carter dropping a major bombshell on Thursday, alleging on Twitter that his late sister Leslie, who died in 2012, sexually abused him when he was a child. In a series of tweets, the singer explained, quote, "My sister raped me from the age of 10 to 13 years old when she wasn't on her medications." He also alleged, "I was abused not only sexually by her, but by my first 2 backup dancers when I was 8 years old, and my brother abused me my whole life." ET has reached out to Nick Carter for comment. Aaron claims the abuse in question came as a result of his late sister Leslie's mental health issues. He says she suffered from bipolar disorder and took lithium to treat it, claiming that when she was not on her meds, she did things that she never meant to do. As a result, Aaron says he spent the last 15 years of his life.
Torture Aaron Carter endured to live caused him to act out, develop self-destructive habits, and start using drugs to block out the memories. This ultimately resulted in Aaron Carter acquiring multiple sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV at one point, according to a rumor. Why does every young star who enters Hollywood end up using drugs? Justin Bieber did the exact same thing.
System is still so weak that it can't fight off, a yeast infection.
Sorry, my part is just like,
so
you guys got to understand out there, like, this is like, no, I know this is kind of like, it's giving me anxiety, okay? So my heart is racing. I did not take any medications before I came here. I haven't in actually a couple of days because I wanted to try to wean myself off of this.
But then one of the things I also noticed when you met with Dr. Jorge, you opened up and expressed your concerns that you're worried you have HIV.
Absolutely.
I know you recently came out as bisexual.
Yes.
Is that one of the other reasons that's had you concerned? Because you admitted on the tape piece that you say, I haven't always been safe sexually.
Absolutely. No, and that's a fact. I haven't always been safe sexually, and I have no qualms in saying that. There's nothing wrong.
Aaron's mother is attempting to start an investigation, claiming that the police were complicit in the conspiracy. The police never suspected any foul play, and Aaron's death was determined to be an overdose. However, there are some clear problems here. First of all, how could Aaron have overdosed in a bathtub full of water and not have had any water in his lungs? Aaron's death demonstrates that police never visited to check on him, despite a welfare check purportedly taking place the night before.
Found dead in a bathtub in his home in Los Angeles last November. Since that time, TMZ has reported the LA County coroner did not find water in his lungs, meaning he didn't drown. Carter's mother, Jane Schneck, posted photos on Facebook that show the bathroom where her son was found. She wrote on Facebook, "Because of my son's mental illness and prescription drug issues, they, the cops, just wanted it to be something easy that they didn't have the time or inclination to address." Schneck wants a more thorough investigation. She wrote that her son was receiving threats from many people, and she believes there were people out there who wanted to harm him.
Carter's mother, Jane Schneck, posted the photos to her personal Facebook page on Wednesday, writing, quote, "Still trying to get a real investigation for the death of my son, Aaron Carter." On November 5th of last year, 34-year-old Carter was found dead in the bathtub of his Lancaster, California home. According to posts by his mother, quote, "The coroner wrote it off as an accidental drug overdose. They never investigated it as a possible crime scene because of his addiction past." One of the photos shows the bathtub where Carter was found filled with green water. Another shows what appears to be feces smeared across the bathroom floor. A towel and some clothing items can also be seen on the floor in the photos. In one social media post, Carter's mother writes, quote, "Why are the towels perfectly placed?" In others, she alleges Carter received multiple death threats before he died, saying many people were making his...
According to forensic experts, Aaron Carter's death might have been manufactured to appear to be an overdose. This is when the revelation from Kanye West enters the picture. According to Kanye, there are many handlers in Hollywood that want to control and manage you. One of these handlers, he claims, is his trainer, Harley Pasnak. Interestingly, Aaron also worked with Harley.
You hear about things like staging of crime scenes. I think that this has been mentioned a couple of times. Staging cuts both ways. Are you attempting to demonstrate something to prove your point? Or are you photographing something that's just there, where you can actually, that's demonstrative of the reality? Has anything been adjusted? That's one of the reasons, to her point specifically, that you do want to try to keep control over a crime scene. And that way you never lose context of it. So there's too much murkiness here, I think, relative to the photos that she has allowed to be displayed and what the police are not saying.
Another piece of the puzzle I discovered in my research were the claims that Kanye West was making about Harley Pasternak, who is a personal trainer for Ye, and he was also a personal trainer for Aaron Carter. And Ye is openly accusing Harley Pasternak of being not only a celebrity handler, but also responsible for what happened to Aaron. He thinks that he was the guy that went in there and set this up to look like he basically overdosed and accidentally unalived himself. And his claims for this is that Harley Pasternak made threats to Ye about putting him in such a seduced state and under conservatorship that he wouldn't even know what was going on. And he even says something along the lines of family gatherings won't be the same, or time with your kids won't be the same, something like that. But I've got the clip. It's really crazy.
Harley Pasternak followed me to the hotel. Then they killed Aaron Carter, and now they acting like they won't clear the Backstreet Boy sample. You get what I'm saying? Harley Pasternak, pusher. Your trainer, Harley Pasternak, Jay-Z.
Wood is full of pedophiles and abusers who prey on youngsters and young men, so none of this should come as a surprise to you at this time. Tom Hanks claimed that Harvey Weinstein was only a small part of the problem, but in actuality, this is occurring throughout the music industry. Aaron's death and the deaths of some other people have remarkably similar circumstances, with their deaths being staged as suicides or accidents, and those who had no health problems abruptly going missing.
Predators in power, not just in Hollywood, I think all across any place there's a boss with underlings in any corporation or any industry, you have a type of sexual politics that goes on that can slide in between appropriate ethics and decorum to, inappropriate behavior to the point of harassment and sexual predatory behavior.
Well, I mean, I think people understand that, but the larger question is there a culture of complicity in Hollywood where women are afraid to speak up because they'll be blacklisted, men are afraid to speak up because either they're out of the same fear or they just think, well, this is the way the system works.
I think there are people that say, hey, this is how it works, pure and simple. And this is why I got into it, and this is why I have power. This is how it works, and you have to understand that. That does not carry the day. Complicity is also complicity. The people who know, well, look, this is how we do business, and that's what it got to be done. I'm sorry it's like that. So beware. That's also present, without a doubt, but it does not carry the day. There's also people that were afraid to speak out, who were victims, that did not go forward, that signed, negotiated settlement deals of which a non-disclosure agreement was part and parcel to it. That also does not carry the day. So the dam has burst here.
Because they are aware that nothing will change. Celebrities like Justin Bieber and Aaron Carter never speak out against Harvey Weinstein. Hundreds of women spoke out against him before he was arrested, and he is still in jail today despite a ton of evidence and real video footage that shows him brutally beating up. There's still a chance, Cassie, that Diddy won't be arrested.
Examination. Their character will be impugned. They will attack the victims for not coming forward until Cassie Ventura came forward. How do you fix that? You find an outcry witness. What is an outcry witness? An outcry witness is someone the victim told about their at the time. So 10 years ago, I told you Sean Combs raped me at this party. I told you that then, but I never made a police report. That adds credence, credibility to the victim's statement. So a lot of victims are going to be attacked because they continued in a seemingly friendly relationship with Combs. A lot of women do that. Your boss makes advances on you unwanted. What do? Quit and starve? There's a lot of reasons women maintain a relationship with the rapist. So we may lose credibility on a couple of witnesses, but the sheer number of them, I find it hard to believe that a jury will choose to disbelieve all of these ladies and choose to believe Sean.
In addition to arguing that Diddy's beating of Cassie isn't a huge deal and doesn't demonstrate that Diddy is a violent man, Diddy's attorneys are attempting to have the video of him doing so taken out of the case entirely, arguing that it is actually a 30-minute video and that cutting it short renders it inadmissible as evidence.
That video or videos excluded from trial, and for that, we turn to his motion in limine to exclude video footage of that March 5th, 2016 incident. Motion in limine is a pretrial motion that aims at preventing evidence from coming into trial or limiting it in some way. And it starts by saying, quote, "There is no longer any dispute that the CNN footage from March 5th, 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel offered by the government at 3 separate bail hearings is wholly inaccurate, having been altered, manipulated, sped up, and edited to be out of sequence. As indicated below, CNN paid Redacted, don't know who this person is, Redacted, for footage, copied that footage in unknown ways, presented that footage out of order, and destroyed the original. Accordingly, all the footage from CNN is inaccurate and inadmissible. As for the 2 items of footage filmed by an iPhone 6, those pieces of footage are inaccurate and admissible as well for the reasons set out below."
Let's talk about the showdown in the courtroom over the bombshell video allegedly showing Sean Diddy Combs beating his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura.
Now, Diddy's lawyers are arguing to exclude the footage from the rapper's upcoming sex trafficking trial. Legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer joins us now with more on what this could mean for the high-profile case. So good to have you. Okay, so they want this video left out. What's their argument for this?
So, Mark Agnicolo, Sean Combs' attorney, is arguing that you probably hear this phrase, this is not a true and accurate representation of what the video depicts. He's saying a number of arguments that the CNN had taken this video and sped it up, they kind of chopped it up into this montage, and it's not accurate. He's also making the allegation that the original video no longer exists, and so because this isn't accurate, the jury shouldn't see it, and according to Diddy's attorneys, because the original doesn't exist or it's been tampered with, no video such as this should be presented to the jury.
So what is CNN saying about these claims?
So CNN has come out and said, we did not alter it. We did not change anything. And in fact, they're saying that they do have the original as well. So on multiple levels, Sean Combs' argument kind of falls flat because if it is sped up, and I think there is some degree of it's being sped up, if the original still exists, that can still be used as evidence against Sean Combs, not necessarily to the allegations of trafficking, RICO conspiracy or the transportational purpose of prostitution, but to show that this is a force that it was used to keep victim number one, who we believe to be Cassie in this video, under his control for the purpose of trafficking and